Goshen, a professional astrologer from the village of Nyack in New York State, and I'm passionate about in-depth astrology and getting to the heart of the matter. In this video, I want to talk about Libra, Sun and Rising for 2023. Beautiful Libra, welcome here. We're going to do a quick overview of the year and then we'll go month by month. So Libra 2023 has some really interesting dynamics in terms of partnerships. And this could mean a relationship, or it could mean business partnerships, or even financial partnerships. Because I'm seeing you in the second part of 2023 in particular, wanting to hook up with someone in a financial way, to pool your resources and possibly start a business together, expand a business, or simply live more efficiently because you have combined your capital in some kind of way. And only you will know how this is going to work out. But the first part of the year is drawing you towards that, because the first part of the year sees an emphasis on relationships. You've got Jupiter in that house there wanting to expand things. So if you are looking for a relationship, it's a really good time. If you're in a relationship, it's a wonderful time to expand together, to grow, to travel together, to not wait until things are different or you have more money to do the things you want to do. There's a feeling that now is the time. And if you're not interested in relationships, then possibly this area that's being activated in your solar chart could mean that you are engaging in the outside world in a more fruitful and open way. Whereas 2021 and 2022 have been more about going within and having a little bit of time to reflect, time to come and consolidate yourself and your self-worth. Now Libra, even though you may not be aware of it, other people are always nourished by your gentle and calm approach. Maybe you feel nervous inside, maybe you have a lot going on, but there is something intrinsic about your energy, which is Venus ruled, that seems to promote harmony in an environment, in an atmosphere. So how can you nurture that and keep connected to your community? Because Libra, community is important to you. You enjoy the exchange of information on a social level. And while it's good to draw back into your meditation, into your quiet time, you always want to find yourself or position yourself in a way that you have the support of a community and that you feel there are those you can turn to for social exchange. This also enters into your work. So work that is too isolating may not be good for you, and you want to ensure that there is a daily exchange with people that can nourish you and keep you going strongly throughout 2023. And I don't see any lack of that, because you're emerging, you're coming out of a period where you've been more inward turning, and several indications in the chart seem to say that. We've got Jupiter moving into Aries again in the first part of 2023. It will have been with you through the central part of 2022. And there might just be a little adjustment in November and December when you take a step back and you do have that quiet time again, or you reflect on what's been happening since 2020 and you tidy up resources. But as 2023 gets underway, very much the outward energy, partnership, business, public, seeking, exchange, and feeling the expansion in those areas. The second part of 2023 is when Jupiter is going to move into that house of resources that belong to others or that come to you through means other than working. Partnership is favored, pooling financial resources. The second big shift for our overview, Libra, is that you're going to have Saturn, the planet of structure, moving into a place in your chart which represents daily work and taking care of your health. You're going to have the opportunity to bring structure to that daily grind, and it's going to help you to set yourself up for success. Doing the same thing in the same way, not so that it feels stifling, but so that you have a greater sense of security and you know where you're going. The third important theme for this year, Libra, is that you're going to have an activation in your houses of love given and received. There's going to be an extra long visit from your ruling planet through one of these houses and several other shifts in the house of love given. So between the houses of love given and received, there's much to be gained and to be learned this year. Are you able to receive love, or do you feel far more comfortable in the giving love role? Many of you are givers, and it is harder for you to receive. There's a fierce independence about Libra. It's a cardinal sign. I will do this myself because I can and I have a clear vision of it. Remember, it's an air sign. It's very mental. You have the idea and you execute it because you can and you are capable. But love, as we know, does not operate on that frequency, and receiving love is a challenge. So I invite you to take up this challenge for 2023 and to open up a balance of being able to receive as much love as you give. Another way to look at those two areas of your chart in a more practical way is they are about creative flow and exchange. So if you are a consultant, if you're an astrologer, a healer, a body worker, a therapist, an artist, whatever you do, or if you're simply in a normal 9-to-5 job, can you bring more exchange of creativity into your daily flow in 2023? Because what you're going to find is the more risks you take in getting creative and letting your old ideas out of the window, the more you're going to feel a sense of inner freedom and increased productivity this year. So it looks like a very wonderful year ahead, Libra. Let's go a little deeper month by month. The year begins on a really positive note for you, Libra. We've got that beautiful planet of expansion in your house of partnerships. It looks like whatever you're doing at the start of January 2023, it has the potential to expand and to inspire and to grow. So make sure that you're putting your energies into something that is worthwhile and that is going to feed you all the way until May. The other energy I'm seeing strongly in January is that you've had a lot of action since September 2022 going on in this house of studies, the house of travel, the house of higher learning, whatever you've been doing there to broaden your mind. It looks like it could also have something to do with technology for some of you. But there may have been a couple of delays around November and December. And now as the new year gets underway, you feel it's all systems go again. Maybe you simply took a break in November and December and had some free time. Whatever the case, January starts off again. You're back in the saddle, you're working hard, and you're very engaged. The action planet Mars is in a positive place in your chart. It wants you to be busy, to be getting things done, to be thrashing things out. So these are not idle times. And this positive house favors higher learning, it favors study, it favors travel. So if you are unable to connect with any of those themes, try simply going to the library or going online and researching something that is new to you. Learning is a lifelong skill, and the more we can engage in broadening our minds, the more open our hearts become, because we begin to realize that it's actually limitless, the amount of things that we can learn. And at the same time, we begin to see that whatever we know is simply because we were taught it. And if we'd been raised in a different culture, we would have a completely different outlook on the world. So in this way, any type of educational expansion can increase our tolerance. And this is a very important concept for you, Libra. Increased tolerance in the world and helping people to find their own balance. So February is very low-key, very mellow for you. There is a full moon in Leo, which is on February the 5th. And why I want you to take note of that full moon in particular is it's going to take place in that house of love received and that house of increased creativity, the house of goals, the house of dreams, the house of hopes. Take note of what happens around that week building up to the full moon and the week after the full moon, because this is going to carry on themes which will come up again in June, when Venus, your ruler, is going to enter the sign of Leo. So make a note of that, and please post comments below if you find some parallels as the year goes by. March 2nd, give or take a day on either side, depending on your time zone, a really positive day. Use it. There looks like there's blessings, money coming in, or having a wonderful time with someone, expansion, joy. Whatever the case, indulge, and the only caveat would be don't overindulge. The other thing I'm seeing in March is a move of your ruling planet into one of the signs it rules around March 17. What does that mean for you? Simply that March 17 around to April 12th is a very positive time. You're feeling energized, you feel at your best. Maybe physically you feel very good. Then near the end of March, there's a real adjustment around March 25th, 26th, 27th. Action planet will finally leave your house of studies and enter your house of work. So once again, it looks like mid to late March is when you finally get down to the real business of the year. And that day, so March 26th with a day on either side, is a very visible day. And you want to make sure that if you do put a message out to the world via social media or via any kind of form, that it's a message that you are clear and feel true about. Because whatever goes out on that day is extremely visible. There is a sense of volatility in the air as well. So you might decide not to get a message out on that day and rather to lay low and enjoy that short few days of adjustment. And then you're well into April and things are starting to move swiftly ahead at work. You're also building towards your full moon, which is on April 6th in your sign, Libra. So remember that that full moon is a culmination of many months of hard work. So something is going to come to fruition at that time, and you'd like to be very mindful. What are you working towards that you started at your new moon way back at your birthday in 2022? Now is the time where whatever you were thinking about then, working through, journaling on, has to bear some kind of fruit, whether it's external or internal. So take a check on that day. What would you like to see unfold in that week after the full moon? And has all your hard work over the last 6 months or so been worth it? The week of April 20th to 22nd is also extremely active in terms of partnership and finances that you share with others. So this might be an ex-partner, it might be a business partner, it might be a current partner, or it might simply be that you see yourself getting your taxes in order. It's not a great time to sign contracts at that time either, from around April 22nd to May 5th or so. Rather wait until there is a better energy around, and some more information might come to light in the second week of May. And you'll be pleased that you waited before you put pen to paper in any kind of deal. This could also be marriage contracts, so give it a pause. And if you are thinking already of that business partnership and pooling your finances with someone, wait until the middle of May or the end of May until you decide to really go ahead with any kind of deals. Take it easy though around May 5th, because not only do we have some forward moving energies of the planets, but there's also a lunar eclipse at that time. And you want to be really centered. It's in your house of self-worth, your house of resources, and it will ask you to look at the question, what do you value? And what do you really want to invest in this year that is going to be of the utmost importance to you and not to anyone else? Because you might have had many other people to consider over the last few years. And now what's happening in your chart is there's an activation on getting financially stable on your own. And this may take a little time. You know, from May all the way through to the middle of 2024, there are some indications that you might have to draw on savings that you had previously hoped never to spend, but that's fine because you will be able to replenish them in the future. You just have to be patient because you're in a process of establishing something new here, and that can take a little time. So finances and self-worth are often deeply connected, Libra. We need to become aware of how they are connected. If we value ourselves enough, we will be able to find our worth in terms of the resources that we bring in. So use the positive energies coming in the second half of 2023, especially from the third week in May, to start to get that financial house in order and to begin reflecting on how your money is connected to how you feel about yourself. I'd like you to make a note of May 8th because that's a very positive day to get any kind of message out, very visible time. So please use that if it's appropriate to your circumstances. And then on May 20th, there's going to be an energetic adjustment. So that's a great day to take it easy. And you're going to have a movement then activating that house of love received. We spoke about love given and love received. And now is a very positive month. So from late May for the entire month of June, to start to really work on that process of giving and receiving. And this is emphasized even further around June 6, when your ruling planet Libra, which is Venus, is going to move into that same house of love received. It's going to bring small and beautiful blessings. Venus rules pleasure, chocolates, wine, and roses, and all the positive things in life. So how can we accept those? Can we beautify our home so that we are always surrounded by a feeling of harmony, which is so important to you? And can we stop any kind of negative thoughts about what we should be doing and whether we are living up to our own standards? Venus traveling through this sign is going to inspire you to set goals and dreams and to achieve them. And she's visiting there for a very long time, until the second week in October. So you have plenty of opportunity from around June 6 to set a goal, to set a dream, and to make it manifest. Around June 19th, we are all going to be asked to cast our minds back to December 21st, 2020, to remember what we were doing then. And that week of June 19th in 2023 is going to ask us to reflect on how far we've come since December 2020. How have we changed? How did the pandemic affect our lives? We will finally now be able to take stock and to decide, how are we moving forward and what have we truly let go of? Because surely that was the purpose of it all. July 2nd and August 8 are incredibly exciting days. So I want you to take note of them and to see if there are any parallels between them. They could bring excitement in relationships, a journey, an unexpected event that is interesting. Please make a note of it and let me know. Mid-July appears to usher in a slightly more reserved or quieter period, Libra. So if you have been putting yourself out a lot for the first few months of the year, this is your time to kick back a little bit. You're going to have action planet Mars move into a quieter part of your chart, asking you to reflect and go a little bit behind the scenes. So maybe if you normally work in an outward fashion, you're going to pull back a little and do more work from home or work remotely. Perhaps you're going to take a long vacation. Whatever the case, you're also going to have your ruling planet go retrograde for a while. And what this means is you get an opportunity to kick back a little bit. It's going to happen in that house of love received, and it's going to give you time to reflect on things and to mull them over. Not a great time to start brand new relationships, but a wonderful time to work on any relationships. And these don't have to only be romantic partnerships. They could be relationships with your family members, with siblings, with children. Any kind of therapy, consulting, communicating, thrashing things out and working them through can be so helpful during that time. And even the third week in August sees you reflecting back on things. Maybe you're meeting up with some friends you haven't seen for a while, or you're revisiting some ideas or work that you thought was already behind you. Whatever the case, that's a time to not necessarily push forwards with new things, but to continue on this more hidden and reflexive way. Then, the very end of August, the action planet Mars is going to move into your sign, and there's going to be some kind of emergence. So coming out in September, Venus is going to station direct on September 4th. So by around the 5th, you're going to feel more active, more energized, and more willing to put yourself out there and be heard and to be seen. Perhaps you simply work really hard all year and you take a break over the summer months. Whatever the case, September is looking active, Libra, and it's showing me that you've already processed a lot this year in terms of those themes that we've spoken of. And of course, on September 24th this year, the sun moves into your sign. So happy birthday, Libra. I wish you all the best for the year ahead. October also looks like a busy month, so buckle your seatbelt and let's see what's in store. There is a movement of active mental energy into your chart around the beginning of the month, so you should be feeling clear. You should be feeling on track, and it's a great time to schedule meetings, to get work in, to submit assignments. Whatever you're doing, whatever type of job you're doing, get busy at that time. Between October 13th and November 25th, there's going to be a lot of opportunity to bring more money in. So resources look high, valuables look high, self-worth is high, and there's a lot of energy about to make money. The day after this energy starts to kick in, on around October 14th, there's also going to be a solar eclipse in your sign. And this can bring energy to you, Libra. So I invite you to be open to receive that. Eclipses can bring positive energy in, and they might be bringing in something that you've been working on for a while. Wait until after the eclipse. If there is something very fresh and new, wait until a few days after that solar eclipse to begin that project. And this eclipse, as always, will have a sister eclipse, which will be a lunar eclipse around October 28th. And that is going to take place in that same area of your chart that we spoke of earlier, which is looking at joint finances or at your own financial investments. So pay attention there. It could also reflect on the self-worth or the money of your partner, or it could simply reflect on some kind of occult studies or therapy that you're going through at that time. When we have eclipses in a house, they tend to highlight things, and they show us that these will be important themes of the year. Your ruling planet, Venus, is going to enter your sign on November 9th, and she's going to be there all the way until December 12th. So enjoy that. That is your time when you feel at your most beautiful and your most handsome, and I hope that you will be using those energies. These are great times when you need to negotiate with people. There's a harmony in the air. Most of the world is affected when Venus is in Libra in a positive sense. So enjoy that period. Then around November 25th, we're going to have a shift so that I see you making a trip or traveling. And that area of your chart is going to be active throughout December. So you're traveling, you're seeing people, you're getting things done. Then there's an opportunity to kick back and relax at home. And this is going to be around about December 14th. Could be at home, it could be on holiday, but whatever the case, there's a natural pause for you to take it easy around that time. So use it. Don't overschedule yourself around mid-December. You want to be winding down and putting your feet up and relaxing wherever you are. Things will move forward for you again in the first week of January. So take the first few days of January easy. There's no need to do anything of great consequence at that time. You want to give the year a few days to kickstart. You want to give Mercury, the planet of communication, time to pick up speed. And you want the new year to be ushered in a positive way. If you found anything useful in this video, I invite you to like and subscribe. And I will see you next time.